we're going to be doing yoga for your lungs and your diaphragm. So we'll be doing a lot of side body opening, as well as front to back, but mainly focusing on those intercostals on the side. So we'll start with some anatomy. I decided to show you the diaphragm today since that is the main muscle of respiration. So here are some pictures of the diaphragm in my anatomy book. So you can see that it sits underneath the lower ribs. So this is the front of your body and this is the back of your body. And it's an amazing dome shape. And you can see it's very big. It extends that like 4 or 5 ribs, attaches into your spine and into the sternum on the front. And then this is a view from the bottom of your diaphragm, bottom and top. And you can see that there are some main vessels that run through your diaphragm, including a phrenic nerve, your vena cava. But basically, I just wanted to point out that this dome shape of your diaphragm. So if you think about it in your own body, you can imagine that dome sitting right here. It's domed up like this. And then with every inhale, your lungs expand and your diaphragm presses down. So it kind of almost flattens out, presses down. And then on your exhale, it domes back up. So when you breathe, you've got quite a bit of diaphragm movement and thus quite a bit of organ movement as well. Okay, so let's get on our mats. I've got Pago on my mat here. That's okay. You can stay there for now. So find a comfortable place to sit, maybe some height underneath your hips. And let's get into our cross-legged pose. So I like to start with your legs out in front of you and grab underneath your inner knee and draw one knee in. So we're going to do a little warm up here just to wake up your hips. We're really using your hand to bring your leg back and press your thigh out. Good. Okay, and then bring your left leg in and hold it there. And then bring your right leg in and cross at the shins. Okay, so find our seat here and close your eyes and just start to notice your normal breath. Just notice, how is your rib cage moving when you breathe? And scan from the bottom of your ribs to your middle ribs to your top ribs. And then we'll start to deepen the breath. So very gently lengthening your inhale and lengthening your exhale. Now imagine a balloon in your lower abdomen and kind of like a straw that comes all the way up and through your nose. And go ahead and start to sip air in through that straw and imagine that balloon filling in your lower abdomen. And then as you exhale, that balloon just deflates as the air comes up and out through your nose, through the straw. So do a few just like that. and return to your normal breath. Okay, so let's start with, we're going to do double breath with tension, and then we're going to start into some movements. So you'll inhale twice through the nose, tense everything up. Exhale twice through the mouth, let it go. 2 more times. Tighten everything up, gaze to the third eye, and out. Let it all go. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to just start by walking your hands forward into a nice forward fold to start our practice. And for me, I'm just going to slide off my bolster. But use whatever height feels comfortable. And really reach your arms forward. We're stretching under your shoulders. And ground your sit bones down to the floor. Good, and then we'll walk back up. Okay. And we'll wring out our ribs here. So we're going to do a little twist. So start to turn to the right. Bring your right hand behind you. And twist. And we're just going to do some repetitions like that. Come back to center and twist to the left. And now we're going to move with our breath. So inhale to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale. And once more to the left. And inhale back to center. And big exhale. Good. Let's just do a few shoulder rolls while we're here. Okay. Now we're going to start to open up the side body. So we are going to stretch to the right first. So place your right hand down on the floor and bring your left arm up and over and behind your head. Good. Just feel that nice stretch through your left side body, your left ribs. Okay, and we'll switch. Up and over. Ground your right sit bone down to the floor. And as you breathe, feel the stretch and the inhale into your right side ribs. Good, and back to center. And we'll do some side body moving with our breath. So let's clasp your hands behind your head. Elbows out to the side. Take a deep inhale and exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale left. So I'm just going to let you move with your own breath here. Always inhaling back to center and exhaling as you move to the side. It's like you're moving between 2 panes of glass. So don't rotate your chest. Just, you're keeping your body parallel to the front and back. And then find yourself back in center. Take a normal breath. Okay, we're just going to do one more breathing exercise and sitting. So I want you to bend your elbows with your palms facing up. We're going to inhale, rotate your arms out, expand the chest. Exhale, hands, fingers face front. And just feel how even just the rotation of your shoulder helps to open your lungs. Good, and back to center. Let's just kind of wiggle it out. So do whatever motion feels good in sitting. The focus on kind of stretching out your lungs and your rib cage in every direction. Okay, awesome. So let's move into our cat-cow. Let's grab your ankles, tuck them underneath you, and roll forward onto your hands and knees. Okay, so the breathing with this is we're going to inhale as you arch your back and look up, and exhale round. Inhale, arching, expanding through your ribs. Exhale, round. There's many ways you can focus in cat-cow, and here we're focusing on the rib cage. So really press your hands, open up through your upper back. And as you inhale, open up through the front. Good, and then find yourself back in center in quadruped. And we're going to do a funky movement here. We're going to roll the shoulder blades. So here, I'll face front, maybe you can see better. So we're going to roll your left shoulder back and your right shoulder. So you kind of have to bend into your elbows here. And it's okay if you feel like you look funny or something. This one took me a while to get, but it should feel good. Like rolling one shoulder back and then the other. And breathe. I feel this opening up my lungs. Okay. And then let's rest in child's pose. So we'll do wide knees, big toes together. Bring those hips back to the heels and bring the bottom come back to hands and knees. Walk your hands a hand width forward. And press on up to your downward facing dog. Okay, so we're going to rock the hips here. So see how I'm kind of lifting my left hip up to the ceiling and then my right hip. Just swing back and forth. Good. Okay. Side to side. All right, now we're going to step into our lunge. So let's actually bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand. So we're going to do a wide lunge here, where my knee is really kicked off to the side. It's kind of a crab lunge. Just really stretch through that right hip. Maybe lift the chest. Then we're going to take your right hand to the inside of your right knee and push away and do a little twist. Good. And then we're going to come back through your downward facing dog. Your sit bones lift towards the ceiling. And feel that length that you might get through your side body here. From your armpits all the way through the side body to your side hips. Okay, and then we'll step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. It's okay, you can bring your right knee down to the floor, or you can lift it a little and do some swaying back and forth, whatever feels good to open up the hips here. It's important to address the pelvis when we're addressing the diaphragm, because they work in harmony. Okay, and we'll bring that foot back into your downward facing dog one more time. And feel that length again through your pinky, through your side arms, armpit, all the way through your side body to the hips. And then let's walk your feet forward into a standing forward fold, or Uttanasana. Let's enjoy this forward fold. You know what? Let's widen the feet a little bit and clasp the elbows and just let yourself sway side to side. Letting gravity allow your head and neck to relax, your shoulders to open. Good. And let's walk those feet back hip width apart. Just a moment here in Uttanasana. And when you're ready on your inhale, we're going to roll up. And we'll come to the top of your mat for our Crescent Moon series. Okay, find your center in your Tadasana. Maybe do a little weight shift forward and back. And then find your center. Good. And then let's lift our arms up overhead. Deep inhale. We're going to exhale to the right. Really good one for opening the side body. Take 3 breaths here. Level 2 is lifting your right leg off the floor. Good, and we're going to switch. Inhale through center, and exhale to the left. 3 breaths. And back to center. And let's bring your arms to your low back. And really draw, before we go back, draw your shoulder blades down and together, like you're pinching a pencil between your shoulder blades. And your elbows are moving towards each other. And then lift your chest. And then round all the way forward, Uttanasana. Maybe bring your hands behind your calves and give a little extra pull. Okay. And then lift your chest, hands to your hips, come up with a flat back. In Tadasana. Okay, we're going to do some chair poses. So bring your feet can be together or hip width apart. And let's just start by sitting your hips back. Bring your thumbs into your hip creases. Roll your thighs out. So we're going to paint those thighs back into the hip sockets. Good. Okay. And now we're going to bring our arms out in front. And then arms in line with the ears. Really lift your chest. You're getting a nice stretch through the side body again. A nice lift of your sternum. Good. And back to center. Let's do toe stand. So lift your heels. Arms out in front. We're going to sit down into your chair. Keep your heels high. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. And we'll do twisted chair to sort of wring out our rib cage again. So I like to bring my feet together, hands in namaste, and we're going to sit back in your chair and bring your left armpit, your left upper arm to your right thigh. Good. And we'll switch, coming through center. Big inhale and exhale, twist. Each exhale twisting you a little bit more. Good. And then inhale to center. Big inhale up. And exhale down to your Uttanasana again. And here we're going to move through a few Ardha Uttanasanas, or half forward fold. So you can bring your hands, can either stay on the floor or you can bring your hands to your shins. Flat back. Looking up and exhale round. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale round. Inhale, lift your chest. Flat back. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift your chest, flat back. And exhale, round. Grab the backs of your calves, give that little extra pull. Bring your weight more forward so that your hip pelvis is right over your ankles. And then we're going to come to Ardha Uttanasana again, and then all the way up to standing. Maybe arms overhead, and exhale down to your Tadasana. Deep breath here. Excellent. All right, we're going to move into Trikonasana, or triangle pose. So let's jump or step your feet wide. Good. Okay, and we're going to rotate your right foot around. So triangle pose can actually be a nice side body lengthening pose. So what I want you to focus on when you come into triangle is, so when you go to the right, that you're keeping your right side body long as well as your left. Okay, so let's bring our arms out to the side. And on your exhale, we're going to come down, reach out long with your right fingertips. Long, 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 long. And then you can bring your hand down to your leg, block, or floor, and reach your left arm up tall. All the while really bringing length through both sides of your body. Zip up those kneecaps. Ground down into your feet. Good, and we'll switch. So really reach out through your left arm to bring you back to standing. Rotate your right foot in and then left foot out. Okay. So again, we're going to reach out through your left fingertips as long as you possibly can, and then bring your hand down. So I should see a lot of space here between your side body and your leg. Breathe and lengthen into your side bodies. Spread your toes and ground down through your feet, your heels. Good. And then inhale, reach your right arm up and over to bring you to standing. Good. And we'll jump or step back to center. Tadasana. Okay, next is Utthita Parshvanottanasana, or side angle. So again, jump or step your feet out to the side. And let's go to the right first, so rotate your right foot out. And we'll bend into your right knee. Good, make sure that knee is right over the ankle. And then bring your right elbow down to your thigh and reach your left arm long. So you have a nice straight line from your left pinky to the outside of your left arm, left side body, and left leg. Again, try to keep your right side body long as well. We're not collapsing there. Good. And let's switch. So reach your left arm up and over. And let's rotate the feet. And bend into your left knee and hip. Good. Get into that nice deep warrior two position and come up and over. So now you're getting a really long straight line through your entire right side body. And breathe into that. Feel your lungs and your ribs expanding side to side. Good, and then we'll come up, reaching your arms long. We're going to go straight into Prasarita Padottanasana, or standing forward fold, so bring those toes facing forward. And on your next exhale, come all the way forward, bringing your hands to the floor or to blocks. Just let your whole spine kind of fall down with gravity towards the floor. And then draw your shoulders away from your ears. So just a little activation here of the shoulder blades so that you create some nice space for your neck. Okay. And then if you need to, walk your feet a little closer together and then roll all the way up. Excellent. Okay, let's do some moving chair to bring us down to the floor. So what we do is we inhale and open up through your front body, and then exhale round. Inhale, open through the front. Exhale, round and stretch through your whole back body. Tucking your chin toward your chest. And then one more. And on your next exhale, you're going to roll down and all the way onto your back. And then let's just hug. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Okay, so we're actually going to come to sit first before we get too relaxed here. So let's roll to your side and come back up to sitting. And let's start with a little back bend. So, we're going to do fish pose, but I want to give you two options since that can be a little inaccessible for some people. So we're going to do this first option together. Come to sit in a comfortable position, and then bring your hands back behind you, and then lift your chest. So this might be your fish pose for today. Good. So feel that expansion. You're really drawing your shoulder blades together like you're pinching a pencil behind you. So you feel that openness across your top chest. Good. Okay, and then come back to center. So you can do that again, or you can bring your legs out in front of you, straight, and come down to your elbows. And play with this a little bit. Lift your chest. So you might be here today. Okay. And then if you want to come into your full fish pose, go ahead if you're experienced in this. You come all the way down onto your back. And then you lift up onto your elbows and let the top of your head come down to the floor. Again, don't do this unless this is part of your practice. But it can be a really great one to open up your lungs if this is a part of your practice. No real weight should be on the top of your head. It's mostly in your elbows. Good. And then come back to lay down out of that pose. Good. Okay. Roll to your side. Come back to sit for Janu Shirshasana, or head of the knee pose, one of my favorites. So bring your feet out in front of you, and let's clasp underneath your left knee and draw it in. So the knee is pointing straight out to the side, or maybe a little bit further back behind you. And so first, let's twist to the right and come on all the way over. So like let your left sit bone come up off the floor. Get that nice twist. Feel that through your spine and your ribs maybe. Good. And then let's start to walk your hands around, reaching. And then when you get there, hang out here and stretch. We're really lengthening forward like you're trying to reach your chest towards your foot. It's more about that. It's more about lengthening your spine and your side body than it is getting your just gently switch here. Bring your left foot forward, hook under your right knee, bring it back. Okay, and then sit up nice and tall, and then we'll twist to the left, and then walk your hands out to the left. Just feel that nice stretch first. And then, keeping the length of your spine, you're going to walk all the way towards that foot, towards your left foot. And really lift your chest on your inhale, and exhale, pull your chest forward towards your foot. Left foot is active, toes reaching up to the ceiling. And see if you can feel the stretch through your whole side body on either side as you reach your arms forward. Take one more nice deep breath here. Lengthening your whole spine, whole side body. And then we'll walk back up to sitting. Bring your legs back out in front again. We'll move to Upavishta Konasana, or wide-legged forward fold. So let's bring your right leg out to the side and your left leg out to the side. Okay, and then reach behind you and lift, press down to the floor, lift your pelvis up and walk it forward until you feel like you're in a nice wide position. Okay, so we're going to do some twisting and side bending first. So we're going to twist to the right first. So inhale, tall through your spine. Exhale, twist to the right. And have your legs active here. So toes back towards your nose. Really stretch through your, behind your knees. It's like you're trying to twist your sternum to be in line with your foot, which might never happen, but that's the direction. Okay, and then let's switch. So I should mention that if you're feeling any rounding in your low back, put some height under your hips so that you can get up nice and tall. So let's inhale and then exhale to the left, like you're bringing your sternum to be in line with your left foot. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Legs strong, active, especially that right one. We tend to forget about the right when we're not looking at it. Good, and then come back to center. Okay, and we'll do some side bending now. So start to reach your right arm along the floor towards your right foot and bring your left arm up and over. And just go as far as feels good. And don't collapse your left shoulder, so keep your left shoulder back so that you're opening your chest to the front and maybe up a little bit. Breathe into your left side ribs. Okay, and then let's reach up and over to the other side. Reach your left hand along the floor to your left foot. Oh, now stretch through your right side body. Opening your chest up. Breathe. Good, and then we'll come back to center. And let's bring your legs forward for Paschimottanasana to open up through your back ribs. So again, if you need some height, if you feel like your spine is rounded, sit on a pillow or something so that you get your spine nice and tall to start. And let's inhale the arms up. And exhale, forward fold. And you can undulate a little here where you inhale, lift the chest, exhale, round. Maybe 2 or 3 breaths like that. And then find yourself resting in Paschimottanasana, opening up through your back ribs. Paschimottanasana means intense stretch of the west side of your body or the back side of your body. inhale back to center. And find your way on your back. And if you have a strap nearby, feel free to use one, but you don't need one. And maybe have a block nearby too. Okay. We're going to come into Supta Padangusthasana 3. So reach your right leg up to the ceiling. You can hold with a strap or just hold behind your leg. Just feel that nice stretch for a breath or two. Okay, so before we twist, bend your left knee up and shift your hips to the right a little bit. And then bring your right leg over your body. And bring your right shoulder blade towards the floor as much as you can. And bring your awareness to your diaphragm. And see if you can feel this twist giving a little stretch to that big muscle, the big diaphragm. Okay, so we'll switch. We'll bring your right leg back up to center. Bring your pelvis back to neutral. And then switch legs. Just for 3 breaths, stretch out the back side of your left leg. And then before your twist, bend your right knee and shift your hips to the left. And then twist. So that little shift just gets your pelvis in alignment with your shoulders. Not super important, but I like it. And then work on bringing your left shoulder blade down to the floor. And breathe. You may notice this side feels a little different than the other side. And that's normal and just good to be aware of. Good, and we'll bring the leg back up to center. And just let your legs rest down for a moment, all the way onto the floor. Let's do a deep stretch. Reach your arms overhead, and stretch your hands and your feet apart. And let it all go. Okay, if you have a block or a pillow or a bolster handy, grab that. And we're going to put it underneath your pelvis for Chatupadasana, supported bridge pose. So just find a height that feels good. Place it underneath your sacrum, not your low back. So feel like it shouldn't feel painful. It should feel good. Just let ourselves rest here for a moment. If you don't have any height under your pelvis, you can just go into a bridge pose for a few breaths. And while we're here, let's do a little diaphragm massage. So you can do that. You can do this with your hips on your height, or you can come down to the floor, your knees still bent up, and place your hands on your lower ribs. Okay, and then let's just start massaging. Let's just start feeling around. Sort of hook your fingers underneath your lower ribs. And just start to do a little massaging. I'm going to come all the way over to my right side ribs and kind of hook underneath those ribs a little bit and massage back and forth. I'm also just playing here, just feeling like, where do I feel tight? Where do I feel sore? And you want to be gentle. You don't have to be super hard here. The diaphragm responds to light pressure. So I'm going to come to the left side and just start gently massaging under my left lower ribs. Just noticing, what do I feel? Also under your left ribs, hanging out under the diaphragm is your stomach. Under the right ribs is your liver, gallbladder. So if you have any fascial restrictions, you might start to feel those there too. So then I'm going to come place my back where we started, right hand over right lower ribs, left hand over left lower ribs, come all the way out to the side, not into the center, more out to the side. And go ahead and inhale, and then exhale, hook your fingers underneath those ribs. Good, and hold it there. And then do some breathing. But keep pressure of your fingers curled under your ribs. Maybe do a little pull, like pull your ribs apart gently. Okay, that's good. Let's gently remove anything from underneath your pelvis. And we'll come to sitting again, so roll to your side. And come back up to sitting. Let's see, we have a few minutes left, so I want to show you one more thing, one more self-massage technique. We're going to come to a acupuncture point on the front of your shoulder, so your lung meridian starts here and runs down your arm. So we're going to focus on right here. So bring your left hand to your right outer shoulder, and then bring your thumb in right to the front of your shoulder and start sort of massaging this area. And it's normal to feel some tenderness here. And when you find that tenderness, that means you're on the right spot. Just do some gentle thumb circles around this acupuncture point for your lungs. Okay, let's switch. So bring your right hand to your outside of your left shoulder, and then you walk your thumb into the front of your shoulder, and you'll feel that sore spot. Just give some nice thumb circles with some deep breaths. Okay, so before we move into our Shavasana, I want to do one breathing exercise with you. We could do many, but we've only got time for one. So we're going to do 3-tiered breathing, where we're going to breathe into your lower lungs, your middle lungs, and your upper lungs. So your lower lungs, you can kind of trace them with me, is right here where your diaphragm is. Your middle lungs are, if you bring your thumbs under your armpits, so right here, and your upper lungs are actually, they stick up above your collarbones, so we're going to place them on the top shoulders. So sit on some height here. Find yourself a comfortable seat. So bring your hands to your lower lobes of your lungs. Imagine a ring around here. I'll do 5 breaths. So inhale, feel the breath filling the side lungs, side to side, front to back. And exhale, feel that ring getting smaller. Go ahead, inhale, feel that ring getting larger. And exhale. So how are your ribs moving here? Take notice. Good. Let's move up to the middle lungs. So bring your thumbs under your armpits. And inhale, feel your lower lobes and your middle lobes expand. Do about 5 breaths here at your own pace. I don't want you to feel any strain in your neck. Just gently sipping the air deep into your lower lungs, middle lungs. Good. And then let's do upper lungs. So we'll bring your arms up and over the tops of your shoulders, maybe behind a little bit. And then breathe into your lower, middle, and now upper lungs. Without strain. I remember the first time I did this, I was surprised that I was not breathing into my upper lungs very well. That might be different for you. Maybe you notice one side isn't expanding as much as the other, or you're doing a great job breathing into your upper lungs and not your lower lungs. Just notice. Let's do one more. Let that all go. Let's take a nice normal breath here. Good. And now it's time for our savasana. So find yourself comfortable on your mat. You can tuck your tailbone under here, lengthen your low back. Come down. I like to grab the sides of my mat and kind of push down and away so that I roll my shoulders back to open up your chest. Notice your sacrum sinking into the floor. And then notice your backs of your shoulder blades sinking into the floor. Your elbows, the backs of your hands, and your heels. So now that you've felt that solid foundation of your body, let's bring your attention to your lungs as you breathe. Feel how nicely they expand out to the side and front and to the back into the floor as you inhale. And as you exhale, it takes no effort. Let your jaw relax. Let your neck be relaxed and open. Relax your tongue. Relax your eyes back towards the floor. Just notice the beauty of your lungs expanding and contracting without effort. We can give thanks and appreciation to how this functions on its own under unconscious control all the time. Gently bring your awareness back into your body. Slowly begin to bend your knees and hug them into your chest. Raise one arm over your head and roll to that side, letting your head relax on your upper arm. And gently, with your head and neck relaxed and the last thing to come up, push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Good. Let's do just a few shoulder rolls here. And then hug yourself, give yourself a big hug. Hold underneath, behind your shoulder blades. Tuck your chin to your chest. Giving your ribs and your lungs and your diaphragm a nice hug. Some love and appreciation. And then find yourself back in your center. Maybe roll it out a little bit after that big hug. And press the palms together, fingers together. Bring the base of your thumbs to your sternum. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste.